Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Hello, people, and welcome back to Kop-Ish. It is the summer daily news show. You know what time it is. We bring you that breaking news, and there's been a couple of stories that's out today that I think are going to intrigue a lot of people. And there's only one place to start, you know what I'm saying? And that is regarding, that's right, our goalkeeper, Kelleher, has signed a new long-term contract. Listen, I think that the jury was out for Kelleher last season, especially at the beginning. You know, and even I think the season before, people were a little bit worried about Kelleher and whether he was good enough. The man came in and done an amazing job. He took over from Adrian, who's been absolutely shocking at Liverpool, in my opinion. And it's just gone from strength to strength. Now, Kelleher's gone on and said he's happy to get it over the line, finally done. It was in the pipeline for a few months with negotiations and stuff. So I am delighted to get it done. For me, it was a positive moment to commit my future to the club for the next few years. It's such a big club and it's an honor to be a part of it. So when I got the chance to sign for a few more years, I was obviously delighted. I just want to keep my progress going at the club, really. Listen, I'll say it again. And another thing from Kelleher actually as well. He said it was big. It was a big year for me in terms of playing first team games this year, and more important games, being thrown into the Champions League and Premier League games was big for my development, and being able to handle that, he added. It gave me a lot of confidence to try and push on, to try and keep pushing all the time, because I can play at that kind of level as well as and do well. I'm looking forward to keep pushing him and see what he does. So listen, man, Kelleher, absolute massive. I think for me, it was a great signing in terms of signing him up to a long-term deal. Apparently, it is a 5-year deal. I think with Kelleher, he's only going to go from strength to strength. And if you ask me, people, you want Kelleher instead of Adrian. You know, I know there might be some people that probably even wanted maybe a more experienced number 2. But I think Kelleher does the job, and I think he should have been rewarded. As I said before, and it's a 5-year deal for Kelleher, who I'm happy has signed that. Now, next I want to talk about is this brother right here. Malen from PSV is currently starring at the Euros with Holland. Now, some reports came out today that Liverpool had opened talks. Now, that's since, you know, the last couple of hours, that's already been debunked. Now, the original report was that Liverpool are speaking to his representatives in terms of obviously to see whether they can get Malen. Now, the person who had that story, I believe it was Mike from the... Where's Mike from? I am not too sure, people. But Mike is the person that made the quote in regards to Malen. Sorry, he's at Anfield Central, so apologies, Mike. Big up Mike as well, at Anfield Central. So he was the one that... It was more of a case of his opinion in terms of like, it'd be cool for Liverpool to, you know, to open talks with PSV and see if they can get Malen. Obviously, he's a quality player. Now, since then, the Echo, I believe, were the ones that ran with that story. And then, you know, it's been misquoted and also in Sky Germany. But that news has so far been debunked. However, even though there's been nothing concrete on Malen, I actually think Liverpool are probably looking at him, and he's maybe somebody we shouldn't be shocked about if we were to be, you know, have a bid or there was a bit more concrete interest. Because for those of you that don't know, Malen plays for PSV. He's a forward/striker. He made 26 appearances in, I think, in the league last season. 6 of those were substitute appearances. He scored 19 goals and got 8 assists. As you can see, he's a talented player, young player. He's 22 years of age. The only thing is, for me, is that when it comes to Malen, he's not an out-and-out striker. He's a very gifted forward. In my opinion, he's kind of a more Jota-esque type player for me. I don't think he's that number 9 that we've been crying out for. Like, say, for example, you know, a Harry Kane, just putting it out there, you know, a Haaland or a Lewandowski. But, you know, the way how Liverpool work at the moment is they want to try and go for players that are up and coming. That is our transfer policy at the moment. So we kind of just have to just move with it. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's going to change in the near future. So I think Daniel Malen is someone to look out for. I'm keeping an eye on him closely because I do like the player. If we was to get him, I think he would obviously enhance the squad. But the only thing that would worry me is that I don't think he's as prolific as maybe some of the other strikers that we've been linked with, say like was it Vlahovic, sorry, from Fiorentina. Obviously, we were never linked with Harry Kane, so we can't really put him in there. But you know what I'm saying? There's other strikers out there who I think, dare I say it, some people might even say Patson Daka, looks like he's on his way to go Leicester as well. He's another one. So I think Patson Daka, some people might say he's a bit more clinical than Malen, but then I argue that I look at the two leagues and I think the Eredivisie is a lot tougher. And I think Malen has showed his quality, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Another player I want to talk about is Takumi Minamino. Now, Taki had an interview not too long ago regarding his future, and you know, the reports that came out of that interview and the quotes that came out of that interview was, I don't know, this is on his Liverpool future. He says, I don't know what will happen, but for the time being, I'd like to go back to Liverpool for pre-season and do my best there. When I saw that, and when I read that quote about Takumi Minamino, that says to me he hasn't been assured about his future at all. Because for him to sort of say, I don't know what's going on kind of thing, and I just want to go there and try my best, says to me that I reckon he even may have, or his agent may have even been told that Taki, don't get too comfortable at Liverpool, because obviously he didn't really, some fair to him, but he didn't make his mark there at all. Went to Southampton, didn't really do a lot other than the 2 games. I think we've got 2 goals. You know, Taki hasn't really settled in at Liverpool. We have to be honest, people. Do I think there's some talent there? Yes, of course, but I just think for Liverpool, I don't know if that's going to be, you know, his long-term future, if I've been honest. And I think Liverpool know that. It's just that we're not exactly going to go out there and just say all these players are, you know, are up for grabs, but we're going to be very careful. Now, even obviously Southampton's manager, you know, he's come out of what he said as well, that with regards to Minamino, he's unsure, but they've had a dialogue with Liverpool. So that kind of says to me that there is something there, whether Taki goes back out on loan, whether he gets sold. But in my personal opinion, I don't see Taki being at Liverpool when the transfer window closes. That's what I think. And last but not least, I want to talk about a guy that's playing for Portugal right now, who is starring in the Euros and had a very good game the other day, and that is Renato Sanches, who's been linked with us already. Now, Renato Sanches, as we'll know, was a massive, massive talent, and still is, obviously. Bayern Munich didn't really do that well. Went Swansea, didn't do really nothing. Then he went to, I think it's Lille. And since he's been at Lille, he's won a title. He won a title last season. Now, the thing is with Renato Sanches, he's had his injuries. That is very, very true. He has. But we cannot deny there is a talent there. And one person who agrees with me is Jose Enrique. Now, Jose Enrique has also come out and said, listen, for Liverpool, if there's one person they should be going for to kind of like replace Gini Wijnaldum, it should be Renato Sanches. He said, this is what Jose Enrique said. He's always been a great player. If I'm no wrong, he was named the best player of the under-21 tournament that he was involved. The problem is, like many young players, he had everything too quick, and until he settled, it took him a few years, but looks like the type of player that I believe Klopp can help him become a world-class player. Who else has been amazed by Renato Sanches tonight? This man, I want to replace Gini. He steps up on the big stage, still only 23. He just won the league with Lille. The man is an absolute engine, knows how to dictate a midfield like Gini. He's physically a level above others. He seems like a perfect fit for Klopp. He also has the creative aspects which Gini had. Now, what he just said there, yeah, Jose, I kind of have to agree with, except for he did miss out the part of injuries. Now, that's kind of been a big part of, you know, Renato Sanchez's career, is that he's had injuries. But I think since he's gone to Lille's, injuries have gotten a little bit better. I still think you have to worry about him a tad when it comes to injuries. But again, I think he's still robust at the same time, because you see him play for Portugal, he puts in that work. And he puts in the work for Lille as well. And yeah, he didn't play the whole season for Lille. As I said before, he had a couple of injuries and a couple of knocks here and there. But in my opinion, he was still very integral for them winning the league. And I think, you know, Liverpool should be looking at a Renato Sanches. And if I remember correctly, I think Fabrizio Romano said about 2-3 months ago that Renato Sanches is probably a player that he thinks that Liverpool are looking at, or I think he got told that Liverpool are scouting him heavily. And this is the thing, and before I leave here, people, this is one thing I will say as well when it comes to our transfers, yeah? Let's not get too down in the mud because we haven't signed anyone. It's the Euros, isn't it? Like, players are also on holidays. Euros, it's going to be hard for people to type transfers unless, you know, the work was done way prior. And you're not going to see many. Like, obviously, I think Rumours one going to PSG, and at the moment, it's like Jadon Sancho to Man United. But again, you're not, other than those two, I don't think you're going to see many big transfers. And I just think we have to be patient. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you, saying I know something that you guys don't know. I'm just saying, let's just be patient and just give it until the end of the transfer window. Because I think Liverpool will be doing some moves. I don't know exactly who, but obviously as soon as you hear it, so as soon as I hear it, or as soon as Kopish hears it, you will be the first to know. But I just think we've got to give the club patience. You know what I mean? We got Kelleher in, and I know everyone's expecting more, and to keep that that momentum going in terms of, you know, bringing the players in and making people around us, our rivals, get wired. But I think it's just a matter of time before that happens, people. So just give us some time, give the club some time, and I think hopefully, and I'm praying that we'll do some business. But there you go, people. It's your boy Man Like Matt. That's all the news I got for you today. Obviously, if there's anything more, you might find some more news coming out today. Who knows? And if not, obviously, people, you will see us tomorrow. And that's right. I'll catch you guys on another one. Take it easy, people. Peace.